I'm Adam Smith, the chef at Caviar Park and Woven by Adam Smith. And today we're going to cook two dishes. First one being a beautiful hand-dyed scallop dish. The second dish is Hereford beef, and that's it.
The first thing the guests see when they walk into the restaurant is this space, which we call the pantry. So not only do we have our cheese room here and a little display of all the fantastic ingredients that the guests are going to experience, but for service, I always have a couple of the team up here preparing some of the first snacks that come at the beginning of the meal. Not quite an a la carte, but we give people choice. So a choice of 3 starters, 4 main courses, 2 meat, 2 fish, and then 3 desserts. And it gives us that little bit of creativity at the beginning of the meal to give people things that they may not always choose if they had a choice, but actually 9.9 times out of 10, they're very, very delicious and they walk away being some of their favourite dishes of the meal.
So the first dish, the scallop, obviously relies on beautiful fresh scallops. So for this dish, we utilise every part of the scallop. So we're going to use the white flesh to make a little tartare. We're going to clean off the skirt, wash that out really well. We're going to roast them and make a nice scallop dashi from them. And then the roes, we smoke them, we brine them, smoke them, and then we make almost like a taramasalata but using a smoked cod roe. Rather than a smoked cod roe, we use a smoked scallop roe. So it brings a nice smoky richness to the dish. Then we take the scallops, once the scallops have been brined, we drain them well, and then we dice them into an even-sized dice, and then we weigh each portion. So for each portion, we give 30 grams of raw diced scallop, yuzu jam that we make, jam, marmalade, I'm not sure quite what it is, but it fits into that scheme. So use some fresh, some beautiful yuzu peel. So all we're going to do with this, again, we're just going to cut it down quite finely. Caster sugar, which is going to go into the pan. We're going to bring that to a sort of golden brown caramel before we start adding things layer by layer. When it's at this point, we're going to add in the yuzu zest. So we've added half of the timber pepper now. The other half of the timber pepper we'll add towards the end to give that freshness. Down, we're going to then add all of the microplane zest. And again, it's been super fine. This is all going to stay in. This all just cooks down and keeps its natural texture, so we're not going to blend it or anything like that. Again, it's got nice and shiny, that's sticky as the sugar starts to break down. And then we've got 3 more things to go in. So we have some yuzu juice and some calamansi juice. Again, they're just going to go straight in. And then also to that, we're going to add a little bit of pectin, pectin NH, just again to help with the consistency and the texture. And we turn the heat down, so it's just going to simmer and pop away to get the desired consistency. And then about just 5 minutes before the end of cooking, we'll add the last half of the timber pepper to give that fresh, spicy citrus tone. So the last little thing that actually we finish tableside in the restaurant is a little dressing. So the base of the dressing is a tomato consomme, which we season with scallop dashi made from all the roasted skirts from the scallop, a little bit of yuzu juice and a little bit of calamansi vinegar. And we finish that we split that with a little bit of basil oil, Thai basil oil. So to dress this, first of all, we're going to place the scallop into the ring. On top of the scallop, we're going to add the yuzu and timot pepper jam. And then we're going to cover the whole thing in the Golden Oscietra caviar. Around the outside, we're going to have lots of small dots of all the accompaniments. So we've got some of the scallop dashi that we've made from the skirts, some of the caramelized lemon puree, some of the smoked roe emulsion, and then just garnish it with some Thai basil leaves, a little bit of fennel cress. On top of that, we'll season it with a little bit more timot pepper, and then the sauce, the dressing, to be poured tableside. So there we have our hand-dived scallop with Golden Oscietra caviar, smoked roe, and yuzu jam. So our next dish is some beautiful Herefordshire beef. So we've got the beef here, which has been dry aged. The fillet we're going to use the fillet. We're going to lard that with some Michelin-starred pork fat, some truffle, and some root vegetables. So obviously we're just going to clean the fillet down. So remove all the sinew. This dish for me is just, I think it's just good proper cooking. It's a great ingredient. You know, something like a fillet of beef is, you know, a lot of us chefs prefer to use things with a little bit more fat, but the quality of this beef is phenomenal. And we just lard it with that little bit of truffle and a little bit of fat anyway, and then the way that we cook it means that the taste profile is fantastic. So now we've got the nice center cut. That's gonna go into the fridge just to allow it to set up again. Now it's been out of the fridge a little while, and then we'll bring it out later to stuff. We're now going to portion the beef. The beef has been allowed to rest in the fridge. We've rolled it nice and tight. We're going to portion it into individual portions. Ourselves a skewer, and we're going to put going across the grain. First of all, we're going to go with the green bean. Then we're going to repeat that process with carrot. So we've just bat on the carrot. It's a piece of Michelin-starred lardo. She's super soft, so we make sure that's going in frozen. So all of them are now inside. We're going to just trim them up slightly, and that's going to go back into the fridge to set up again before we cook that ready for service. Okay, so next up we do the caramelized onion puree. She's got some beautiful Roscoff onion. They go into a pan with just a little bit of oil to start us off with. We want that really slow caramelization. We don't want that fast frying. We want that slow sweetness that you get. So again, it's a bit cliche, but that kind of sweet onion you'd get with your hot dog or your burger. So that really slow cooking down. Now that the onions have wilted down, we're going to add some sliced garlic cloves. We're just going to add a little bit of diced butter. And this will help to, again, add a little bit of fat to it and help it to caramelize, slow that caramelization down a little bit. Also give us that little nutty beurre noisette flavor. To deglaze every last bit of that beautiful caramelization off the bottom. Then we're going to cook that down so this pan is dry again, so that's totally evaporated. Then we're going to add a little bit of cream, turn the heat down. We're going to simmer this for 3 or 4 minutes, and then we're going to blend this till smooth, and then we're ready to serve. So now we get to service. We're going to cook the beef. So again, like I said about the beef, we're just going to season it really well in a hot pan, a little bit of beef fat, get a good color, finish it with some foaming butter, a little bit of thyme, small amount of garlic, and then let it rest naturally. Let all them flavors that are in there amalgamate together, let it rest, and then we'll carve that ready to serve. For the sandwich, we're just gonna, it's been pressed in the fridge, we're gonna portion that, and then we're gonna pan fry that on the plancha, again in a little bit more beef fat to really get that intense flavors that we're looking for, and then we're ready to serve. So now we're gonna dress the plate. First thing on is gonna be the shallot puree. We're gonna follow that with the parsley and garlic puree. Then we're gonna add the slices of beef fillet with a few potato crisps. Then on the side, we're gonna put a little beef sandwich and then our 2 sauces. The classic beef stew finished with the tendon and the tarragon, and then the bone marrow trim. Beef fillet, Michelin-starred pork fat, some truffle, and some root vegetables, caramelized shallot puree, roasted bone marrow cream, and on the side we'll have a little oxtail sandwich with a little bit of quince. So thanks for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the Staff Canteen, and click here for more recipes like this.